Hello, and welcome to the Legal Growth Podcast, where we dive into the strategies, challenges, and success stories shaping the future of law firms. I'm your host, Aaron Fulk, and together with Legal Growth Partners, we'll bring you in depth conversations with top legal professionals, industry innovators, and firm leaders. Our goal is simple: to share practical insights, innovative strategies, and real world advice to help your law firm scale, adapt, and thrive. Whether you're navigating growth challenges or looking to boost your business development, you are in the right place. Let's dive in. This week, our guest is Ford Miller. Welcome, Ford.
Hey, good morning. Thank you.
I am so excited to have you. So let's just jump right into it. Give me a quick overview of how you chose law and your specialty.
Yeah, so the joke I always tell is that I graduated undergrad with a philosophy degree and decided that I would probably like to put dinner on the table each night. So um, I went for a graduate program that would lead to gainful employment and the natural fit from, you know, arguing in the halls of academia to arguing in a courtroom. So I wound up at UMKC Law, um, and it was there that I figured out I had a penchant for the contracts and the property issues and the natural marriage of real estate and property and contracts is real estate. So um, on the advice of a few mentors, um, I went and sought a career underwriting for a national title company. Spent the first several years of my career really deep in the weeds and the records and some very ancient documents, and really learned the front to back uh, life cycle of a real estate deal. And when it was time to go into private practice, I kept doing that and have been expanding my practice ever since.
Nice. I like that. So, what has been your biggest growth success story so far?
Well, certainly the last year. I left big law in 2023 and then went big corporate in 2024. And at the beginning of 2025, I joined forces with Leo Oppenheimer to bring my transactional practice into his primarily litigation practice that shared all of the same subject matter, but he's tackling um, the when things have broken down elements, and we found a good workflow between the two of us where I can run interference on the front end and hopefully prevent the problems. And um, you know we've provided each other so much insight into how to do our respective jobs better with what the other folks are doing, and informing our own processes with the insights from the other side of the aisle.
I love that. So, what has been, while you've been doing all that, what has been your number one, like, non legal skill that you realized you had that you were able to apply and help grow?
I love an Excel spreadsheet. I am just looking for the data that we get out of our practice management software, and from wherever else I can get it. If a client gives me their pro forma budget, I am diving in and taking a good hard look at what the numbers show and what they're expecting, and making sure that we can corroborate that from many other angles. But when it comes to running our practice, um, I've set up all sorts of automated reports. I get an email from our system with a spreadsheet twice, three times a month,
Nice.
with all sorts of numbers that I just dive in and start manipulating and analyzing and comparing columns and running pivot tables and just seeing what can be derived from what is otherwise probably makes a lot of lawyers' eyes glaze over when it's just a field of numbers. But just getting the big picture by looking at the data from different perspectives, and trying to understand the trends and what they show, is just one of my favorite things. And it doesn't stop at practice management. I really enjoy doing that for my fantasy football outcomes, right?
My fantasy would kill you if you saw mine, probably then. I geek out like that over algorithm type stuff though, too, and analytics, like Google Analytics and stuff. So I get it.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, what trends or changes do you see shaping the future of law firms, and how are you positioning your firm to stay competitive?
Yeah. So, the real estate market for the last decade has been very hot.
Mhm.
And it has seemed that the deal pipeline is forever flowing, and we haven't had anything freeze up or halt. And it's been good. Everybody's been feasting. Um, you know, we've had some economic shakeups, especially following the pandemic, but even the pandemic didn't seem to stop that trend. Um, but we have started to notice, and I suppose I should temper my conclusions that I'm drawing from this, but we've been handling more and more foreclosures and loan workouts, both from the borrower and lender perspective.
Mhm.
Um, and if the rates are continuing to be troublesome, and folks aren't servicing their debt, then the foreclosures and workouts are going to continue to increase. So again, this may be a microcosm, right? It may just be the success of our marketing and attracting the types of clients who need help in these realms that we're capable of giving the help to. But as those continue to develop, we have really made our processes, from, again, both lender and borrower side, very efficient. And if you're in that situation, a legal spend is the last thing you want on top of what is looking like a busted bottom line. And we're well positioned to keep things efficient and keep that spend down so that a lender and a borrower can perhaps part ways without everybody losing their shirts.
I like that. I like that a lot. I think you might be our first guest that did not bring up AI, but I know we had your partner on here before and he brought up AI. So good job on that too.
My pleasure.
Amazing. What?
I said my pleasure.
I like that.
Just
No, the real estate market's fascinating to me. So I'm sure you've got it on a spreadsheet somewhere that's going to tell you. And I love that about you, Ford. So, well, thank you so much for coming on. And thanks for joining us on the Legal Growth Podcast presented by Legal Growth Partners. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe, drop us a review, and share it with your colleagues because great insights are even better when shared. For more tips and tools to help grow your practice, visit legalgrowthpartners.com. Until next time, keep innovating, keep growing, and keep smiling. Thanks so much, Ford, for joining us.
thanks for having me.